Welcome back, everyone, to Pinetopia. I am here on the second floor. I finished laying out the floor section, but we are going to be needing the walls, or at least a preliminary version of the walls. I just have a single block going around where each of the walls are so that we know where they're actually going to go, so we can adjust them as necessary. Now, the torches that you're currently seeing, those are placed in alignment with the walls that are on the lower floor, assuming that I lined it all properly. I was wondering whether or not it was possible that these torches, meaning the walls below, would line up with the walls on the second floor, and after some more study of the map, I've concluded that they're not. Oh well, it was decent hypothesis until it got ruined by some minor little details like actual examining the data. Now, let's see where all the walls are going to go. Now, we are going to have a wall right up here along this section right here to I presume to keep people from accidentally going into the stairs and bouncing down and the like, because we don't want the whole thing to be a health hazard. There you go. We are going to be needing some light here. Now, I know it's not a dire need because mobs aren't going to spawn on there, but we might as well do that here. We aren't going to be needing anything up here, but we do have another wall right here. And this sort of makes a corridor down here. This actually keeps on, actually, no, it doesn't keep on going. This ends right here where we have a door. Now, it'd be ideal if you could place the door in the middle, but of course you can't because it's one side or the other, which is always a little bit of a problem that we've got here. So I have to choose a side on which one we want to go on. I'll just randomly choose that for now, and later on we could see if that's ideal. Actually, that might be for the best because this goes out 1, 2, 3, like this, or the now, even though I said that any resemblance between the locations of walls here and on the lower floor seem to be coincidental, I think this is a good point to silly me. And a good point in which to follow this. So let me lay this out a little bit more and see how I did. And here we are with the layout that we have. Each of the rooms here. You'll notice that this room right here does not currently show any entrances. I have to see what I'm going to do about that because the only entrance that we're supposed to have is a secret entrance, which means that there's no obvious way to get here. I have to decide how I'm going to handle the secret entrances and stuff like that because some of them I just turned into regular doors and I might do that, but I may decide something else instead. I am, of course, going to have to do something about this thing because I don't have the upper part of this wall yet. I have to decide what I'm going to do about those doors and handle it that way. If they're regular doors, then I'll just have to bring the stone all the way up, probably to match the other ones. Just have the double doors, something like that. Or maybe I have quad doors or something. As I said, I have to decide what I want to do in that case. Yeah, this is a rather weird, windy thing that exists for some reason. But yes, that is in the module. And here we've got this big room here, which I think so it serves as a mass bedroom or something like that. And that's where all the walls are. Good. Now the question is, how high am I going to make the walls? I'm not going to make it nearly as tall as the lower level. I don't think that there's... Oh, my stuff is starting to really come in down here. Really nice. Lots of pumpkins, and I'm even starting to get some melons now. Good. Or was it? Oh, yes. I'm figuring maybe about 4 high might be enough. So I figure 4 high and then have the ceiling and roof and all that fun stuff. One of the things that I will be needing more of will be sugarcane because I finally have a librarian, and of course, it needs a paper trade and all that stuff. So I am going to be planting a bit of this so that I can convert it into paper eventually. And see how much I could do. Maybe I could get some decent trades there, or at least get some emeralds. Now, emeralds, because one of the things I want to do with emeralds is, of course, to get books from it. And on top of that, the cleric, I've traded the cleric up so that I now have a glowstone trade from him, and having some glowstone will help me to maybe get some redstone lamps or something like this, right? I think this is where I have I think I put some glowstone in here. I need to organize this particular chest because it looks like there's not much in here, and I can't remember what I put in here. Well, I do have the 11 emeralds here. But I did put those 2 glowstone blocks somewhere. Ah, here they are, right up here. So I thought maybe the glowstone will come in handy, especially if I want something to as a lighting under some circumstances where I don't think the jack-o'-lanterns will quite work. I do need some lighting up here. I wonder if glowstone would work for this. I don't want to put it there quite yet. And there's also these corners here. You see I still have a torch here, and that's because this corner is not quite lit up. So I'll need some way of doing it. Maybe I could have some sort of a glowstone decoration here in the middle of the 2 back corners here. And I could have a couple here on the up here on the altar thing. So it could be a back of the temple type decoration. And it'll be part decoration and part to keep monsters from spawning in here. Now, here is my librarian. Now, I don't have enough paper with me right now. Actually, I did just... No, that's right. I replanted it all. So I can get 19. I can get Fortune 3, which could come in handy. Right now, I'm sitting on Fortune 2, so promotion on that wouldn't hurt. And I also have a Flame one. That's not a particularly useful one. I'm hoping that maybe the next trade will be much better on that matter. Let's see. 4 books. Each book needs 3, 6, 9, 12. Now, I would need a bunch of leather, though. If I had a bunch of leather, it might be worth the trade there, but I think in the long run, the paper trade is going to be the better one for that matter. So that will be one of my sources of it. I also have a cleric that I'm using to get emeralds. Hello? And the cleric is giving me half a stack of rotten flesh is giving me an emerald. So that's one of my major trades I have in there. And this is where I get my glowstone from. Right? It's going along. I think there's one more stage in there before he becomes a master or whatever. So that's where I'm working at so far. I haven't done trading with the others yet. I haven't decided all that I'm doing. But I notice we have one more unemployed villager in there. So I may create a second. May decide to do a second librarian at some point, just in case, to increase my chances. Maybe someday getting a mending one. Because it'd be nice to get a mending villager, because I know everyone likes getting mending villagers. I wouldn't mind Silk Touch either. Either way, getting something that could be particularly useful. Silk Touch and Mending are the 2 best enchantments I could think of for that matter. Because otherwise, I can go with what I got for randomly. Speaking of which, I think it's time for me to get some XP so I could try some enchanting. So, see you back. I guess I should show you my zombie farm here. Here it is. It's a very simple one. It doesn't have any sophisticated ramps up then down. It's just a very short drop from the spawn point to where we get the zombies coming down. So it's a very short one. Probably the simplest type of farm that you can get in which to be reasonably safe and all of that. Maybe I could do something more sophisticated later, but for now I'm not going into the nether, and I'm going to decide whether or not I'm going to go into the nether this season. Because one possibility is that I could use the same world for the next season and just open up and go into the nether then, which means that I can still have this world around and that the next season will be opening up the nether. And at first I thought maybe I would have to go in order to get some glowstone or something like that for redstone, for getting redstone lamps, but now that I have that cleric there for those trades, I thought, well, maybe I don't need to go into there. It's not like I really need potions this season. After several enchanting attempts, I finally managed to get a silk touch. Well, it's a pick instead of an axe, but I guess it'll have to do. I'll take care of this as soon as the bee's inside. There you go. There is my bee's nest. So I can finally get the last bee's nest up here. Right, we have them all. Just put this right here. And now we have a full set of them all around here. Now, there's some of these nests that are empty. Where are they empty? I haven't harvested any of them recently, which means that some of the nests themselves must be empty. So the bees must have wandered away. Might have been during all that building or something that some of them got trapped outside. So I am going to have to breed some of these up. And breeding bees, oh yes, requires flowers. Fortunately, there are a few of these all over the place. Well, let's do that and start breeding up bees so that we can get the population back up, because I think all of them should be producing. Oh, actually, wait till I have at least 2 bees out before I do that. And speaking of enchanting, I purchased a Fortune 3 book from my librarian in there. Perhaps we can bump up my diamond pickaxe to Fortune 3. Cost 13. Well, that's going to take up most of my experience, but I'm hoping that'll help in the long term. And yes, I have a full set of books now for my library finally. Yay! Some of those bees are flying pretty high. No wonder I'm having so much trouble keeping the bees. Oh, good grief. Oh, they're trying to look for bees, flowers up here. All right. Well, yeah, it's probably not the most well thought out of plans that I've had. Perhaps I'll be able to breed them up and save up on breeding them up until after I've got this place entirely closed up so that I won't have bees coming in and out, running all over the place. After some thought concerning the lighting inside of the sanctuary, I was thinking that instead of these torches, of course, which I already talked about, or even glowstone, what about lanterns? I think having some lanterns set up here, plus a top of the corner, would be a nice little setup to have. So I'm going to make a few of these. Let's get 8 blocks is what I wanted, and with that I can make 9 lanterns. Oh, because I need to be in here. Lantern. Yes, 9 lanterns. There you go. So let's see how these look, and I could even find other places in the temple where that may come in handy. Now, since I like to put lights into the middle squares, that will line up right here with this edge here. I'm going to need something to place it on top of, and that will be fences, of course. Now, the question is whether we put the lanterns on top of the fence, such as that, or whether we do something like this. Well, that may be a little bit low. Actually, spruce might be a poor choice if we do it like that. And then put the lantern there. Actually, maybe the spruce blending in the wall might actually work out on this. So let's do it that way. So I just have to do it for the rest. Yes, that should work. And that means that for the corners, ooh, my goodness gracious, that certainly darkens things up. We could put one there. And maybe one here, since we have room for... I have 6 fences. I might as well use them all in there. And then we could do the same over here and here. Boom, and oops, that was the wrong spot. Over, and we could have a nice little bit there, and I have 3 extra lanterns if I need them for anything else. And I guess we can get rid of that now. There you go. Nice and lit up, and no torches. Now we need to deal with this entrance. What we'll do here is we'll have the usual granite up here. Now, on the other sides, we have a layer of granite here and there vertically, but we're not going to have that because we are going to have quad doors. Well, let's see. Is there any way to get that to work the way I want it, or is that just going to be... it sounds like to me it's just not going to behave. Well, we'll just have to live with that. So if we wanted things open, we just got that. Now let's head in. Actually, how about if instead we put the center ones first? That way at least the center ones look reasonable. And then we do that and that. All right. Actually, I think I like that. All right, good. Now on top of that, we have that. Then we're going to have 3 layers with the diorite. So we can have that here. 3. Then we could do the rest of it from on top. It'd be easier to do the rest of it on top, most likely. But most likely, actually, I think it's andesite for the rest. Let me double check. Actually, it is granite, then andesite, and that finishes up the wall there. Now, what do I do for the upper level wall? Because I finished up my pattern there. Granite there. Because I guess I should need a new pattern for here. it's not going to be as high. So I have to get a different type of pattern. Maybe just a stripe and that's it, or should I do something else? And oh, I've got got granite going all the way up to here. I have to think on whether or not I like that. I think I really need to follow the established patterns. What I am going to do is take care of something I just noticed that I didn't notice before, and take care of this, which we noticed while we were up there. Boom, 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 and there you go. That's what we want. And that is the start of our entrance. Of course, we are going to need a grander entrance in here than just this. We're going to need some stairs and the like, and probably something more polished in order to actually do this. But I think I'm going to save that for the next episode when we return again here in Pine Ridge. So I'll see you next week, and I do need some decoration for this room. I have to think on that. But I'll see you next time for the next episode of Pineleaf Plays Minecraft Pinetopia.